In the earlier days, when I was married, I used to like to have gatherings with in my house, the one that you see here, where we like to have guests over and we had a meal together. My wife really didn't cook anything, nor did I cook. We used to buy food, but she did used to make some finger food, like dessert, something simple. And we had to clean up after that. And it was only later I was to find out that she resented every time we had people over because she said that I was not very helpful in supporting her in cleaning up after the guests had left. I had no recollection that this was the case, and I can't even remember if I didn't help out. And I don't know why if I didn't help out, I didn't help out. But that's not the issue. The issue here, the thing I'm attempting to bring to light is that when we entertain guests, there's a lot of effort put in by the entertainer. And if people don't come, it's a snub. It's a real snub to you. And it's very disappointing. Although, if you are in the other side and you get an invitation, it makes good sense if you have something else whatever thing you have would take priority over the dinner or the invitation. But it isn't so for the person who's inviting, especially if there's a lot of preparation gone into hosting the event. And let's see what happens here. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke chapter 14, verses 15 to 24. One of those gathered around the table said to Jesus, "Happy is the man who will be at the feast in the kingdom of God." But he said to him, "There was a man who gave a great banquet, and he invited a large number of people. When the time for the banquet came, he sent his servant to say to those who had been invited, 'Come along, everything is ready.' But all alike started to make excuses. The first said, 'I have bought a piece of land and must go and see it. Please accept my apologies.' Another said, 'I have bought 5 yoke of oxen and am on my way to try them out. Please accept my apologies.' Yet another said, 'I have just got married and so am unable to come.' The servant returned and reported this to the master. Then the householder, in a rage, said to his servant, 'Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the town and bring in here the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame.' 'Sir,' said the servant, 'your orders have been carried out, and there is still room.' Then the master said to the servant, 'Go to the open roads and to the hedge rows and force people to come in and make sure my house is full. Because I tell you, not one of those who were invited shall have a taste of my banquet.'" The Gospel of the Lord. So it seems there are two things here that strikes us as we read this Gospel. The first is the excuses were somewhat lame. Some of them were quite lame. "I've bought oxen, I want to try them out." I mean, it doesn't. You might have bought oxen, but it doesn't mean that you have to try them out the same day. So some of the excuses were lame, and these were what drove the householder into a rage. The lesson to be learned here is that when somebody takes the trouble to do something good for you, goes all out of the way to do something good for you, and You don't appreciate it as we normally aren't, especially for those who love us and do good things for us. We aren't always as appreciative as we should. One day this person is going to say to you, you don't have my banquet anymore. I'm going to open my banquet to someone else. And that will be a real hurt to you. So appreciate when a banquet is given, when people do good things for you. And your relationships with your friends on earth and with the Almighty will be so much the better for it. Good evening.